Once again, like, share, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be talking Nintendo Switch Sports demo thoughts. Now, I believe not everybody on the panel has played it. I know I have not played the
I have
demo.
not.
I believe Blinded Braille, you played the demo, right?
Yes, I did.
So why don't you give us your thoughts on the Switch Sports demo?
Sure. So, it wasn't a demo. It was more like a beta that lasted like 45 minutes. They have one at really odd hours. The one that I played was at like from 10 to 10:45, and I think there's one like in the way early morning. So I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. But it was interesting experience. You're not allowed to pick the game that you want to play. It was all randomized, and so um, there wasn't every single game. Like I didn't play soccer or badminton. I just played tennis. Basically a bowling game that is like a battle royale and sword fights. So, I mean, if you played all of those games on the Wii, they're pretty much the same. Like I thought bowling was the most interesting one because it was different, right? Like it was a battle royale, right? So you got to kind of keep up with everyone, and I completely sucked at it. So I just, I always got eliminated, and you had to get into the top five, and there was like 10 people playing, right? So I thought that was the most fun because it was the most challenging and most stressful. Swordplay was kind of easy just because I think that was the only game where they kind of gave you instructions how to play, from what I remember. And so I just like mastered it really quickly, and I won like out of 3 rounds, like 2 out of 3. The
Now,
last one I
now,
fucked up on.
now, were you play? You were playing online with other people, or was this just a one player experience?
No, this was online with other people. That was
Okay.
yeah, was the point of the beta, was to have everybody, like, to, I guess, to test the back end to make sure things are working, because after all it's all motion controls. So
Right.
um so it was an interesting experience.
Now,
To Carl's point,
did you have to
go ahead,
download
sorry.
anything? Did you have to download anything to get this going, or how did that work?
Yeah, so you gotta, it's like a really weird process. You have to go into Switch Online, the bottom icon. You go there and you click the Switch Sports kind of event that's going on. I'm doing it right now. And then you have to actually go to the website. So you have to scan the QR code, go to the website, download the code, and then put the code into the eShop, which was a really weird process. Just why not have it up on the eShop and let me download it? But it is what it is. It's only for this weekend.
Right.
So, if you haven't got to play it, maybe you want to. I don't know. It's Wii Sports, right? Like, there's not going to be any gameplay up because for some reason Nintendo was like, you can't upload it or we'll just strike you on Twitter and stuff. I actually did post a screen cap on Twitter and nothing happened, but it was kind of similar to the other ones. Like, I didn't post anything with like the motion controls in it, or something that was like new. So, but they've been flagging people, I saw on Twitter, like they just took it down instantly.
So,
So yeah.
you're about to mention my comment that I made.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is about have you played Wii Sports, Carl?
I have, but like from my bed to my entertainment center, the space is like 4 feet or so.
Because sometimes you can kind of get away. Like, the only game I would say you probably will have issues on is bowling. Like, the rest of the game, you could actually sit down. Like, for tennis, I was like, I wanted to test because I stood up and was playing it, and honestly, I didn't really see the difference of me just sitting versus standing. It was only the only one was bowling, right? Because you kind of have to like swing. So if you're in a really tight space, or if you're sitting at your table, it's just going to be hard to swing and get a
Oh,
good angle.
I could probably negotiate some space then. Thanks for
Yeah.
explaining.
But as I said, I haven't played. I think the game that's probably going to be really difficult is possibly soccer, but we'll see because I didn't get to play it, which I'm not.
Ew.
Yeah, that's the one I wish they had. And I didn't see if the different times, like every day they would put up new games to play. Um, Someone could correct me with the chat maybe, but it seemed like they were only giving us like a few couple of games, or if not, it seemed like I just didn't get it. But I played at least like 10 games, and there were mostly like bowling. There were only bowling, tennis, and sword fight, right? So it was like I was kind of disappointed. I thought we would have just got all of them, right, to test it out. It is a beta to test online to see if it's working. So, you know, kind of disappointed. And even though I will buy the game, it's not a full price game. And it's basically Wii Sports, and I love Wii Sports, but I still wish, I think 6 games at launch is a little fair. Like it's not a lot. And I could see this game being, it's Wii Sports. Like you're gonna play it, be excited, and then probably drop it by the end of the weekend. You know what I mean? Like I think they needed more games to hold over people until golf comes, right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
it's
only
definitely one of
concern.
those. Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where you're gonna, pick it up every so often just to get a, round of bowling or it's a party game. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe they held onto the soccer, maybe just to keep a little bit of intrigue for the for the
Yeah,
final product.
I can just see
Mhm.
bowling now. Every time you get a gutter ball, smoke a joint.
Oh, that bowling game. You're gonna have a lot of fun with that bowling game. Like the battle royale, like everybody's gonna be playing it. Like on Twitter, people are like losing their minds, like just like how competitive and like frustrating it was. It's fun. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice. I'll definitely be pre-ordering then.
and that's pretty much it. There wasn't a lot going on. It's only 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not
So
a big motion control guy. Really into all that. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be my cup of tea. It's not gonna be up my alley as far as games.
I mean, Wii Sports was fun when I borrowed my brother's Wii for the first time. That I spent a lot of time doing the boxing. I absolutely loved boxing. Bowling was really good, but those are like Tony said. It's nothing like if it's nothing groundbreaking and there's not a lot of games and not a lot of different modes. Then I could definitely see it being a fun game to play every once in a while. And definitely a party game, but for the most part, it's pretty much Wii Sports.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll probably buy it for my wife to play. She likes Wii Sports, so yeah, I would play it on the odd occasion, but yeah, I know
You
my
can
wife
also
will
buy.
love it.
also one note, for
What?
anyone that's in the chat, this is not going to work on Switch Lite at all. Like you
No.
can't even get at Joy-Cons and play it. It's not going to allow you to. So
Actually,
Wait,
I remember seeing there's some kind of Joy-Con alternative for the light. So
but it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Here's the thing though. Like you can connect Joy-Cons if you have an extra set to your.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. You can connect it, but the game is not going to allow it. It's really weird. Yeah, that's what people were
that's
saying. I
kind
never
of
got to see a screen
yeah.
shot of it, but that's what I saw. And like, I was listening to like a chat, and people were all playing and saying the Switch Lite actually gives you something where it recognizes it and it tells you can't play it.
I wonder if they're gonna go forward with this. If maybe in the final product they will have that because that's definitely weird. They'll have to most certainly have a disclaimer that the Switch Lite can't play it. So that's definitely
True.
an odd choice if they go with that moving forward when the final product releases.
That's
Bomber
weird.
TV wants to know how did the bowling feel? Was it as good as the Wii Sports one?
Is it good as the Wii Sports one? I would say it's basically the same, but the only difference is the online battle royale. That's the part that's probably going to hook people the most if you play online. Like that's a really good addition.
What's
Yeah,
it like graphically? Is it like an enhancement, or is it just a straight port? Or
So it is an enhancement. It's like you can obviously tell graphically. It's not just Wii Sports upres. Like there's obviously, I mean, you're gonna get the choice of playing with Mii's or the new kind of avatars, which I didn't initially like, but they're okay, right? The environments look really pretty. You can play this in handheld mode on a normal Switch, right? Because I have a Switch OLED, and I did try that, and it was, it worked fairly well. It's just that I think the biggest problem is the fact that there's no sensor bar, right? So you're going to have it's going to be maybe a little bit more jankier than normal, but it's still like you just really press the trigger, and I think it's X, and then it just resets, right? So, and your hands are already on those two buttons anyway, so it's not as bad, but it's not going to be like the Wii. I think and it was like that for because I played Skyward Sword, and I played it in both handheld and docked. And it was a little janky compared to the Wii version, so make of that what you will. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, with that said, I think we're gonna move on. Hopefully, we'll see some videos of Carl playing the Switch Sports. I want 2 cameras, Carl. I want to see the footage of the game, and I want a camera on you swinging your arms around and doing all the motion controls.
Oh, you don't want me playing. I have monkey arms.
Well,
That's why
that's going to be our. Maybe that's going to be our first game that we do challenging. I know we wanted to get a game to challenge ourselves at high scores or compete against. Maybe that could be one of those games.
Yeah, we'll see going forward. With that.